guys, my name is aijalonwallace, and today we're here with Ksenia, and today we're going to talk about the difference between working in-house versus an agency recruitment firm. It's been a great topic discussed in the market, so I'm happy to start you off with the first question. What do you think is the difference between working in-house versus an agency, or more or less what inspired you to go internal?
Yeah, I've crossed the bridge just 4 months ago. So to be honest, I think there's a big misconception in the market that internal recruiters are failed agency recruiters, because who would go away from this big fat commission paycheck? So basically, if you're doing well, why would you leave?
Exactly.
So for me personally, I had a few reasons, and I think that I knew that I'm going to go internal in my very first year of recruitment. I knew that I like dealing with candidates much more than I like the sales side of the job. And I feel like, again, you can have deeper relationships with the brand if you sit in with the brand, if you sit in with the devs and the dev managers that you recruit for, if you know what the culture is like, if you know what the environment is like. And big thing, and I think people don't talk about it enough on social media, is mental health. And I feel like agency work is a very stressful work. It's not for the faint-hearted. You know it. I know it. And the more you work in sales, the more you work in recruitment, the more stressed you become if you don't have enough resilience. So switching to something more flexible, switching to something that's less hectic, less KPI based, seemed like a smart choice for me.
Wow, that's good to hear. I mean, that's some good, I think, pros and positive things that you mentioned, making that switch. I think for me, I do love the agency side a little bit more, maybe because I'm a hunter. I love to hunt. But it does have its days. But I guess I feel that I do have a lot more responsibility from a more entrepreneur perspective as well. It definitely puts you in a mindset when you're working for an agency to think outside of the box and be more creative about the approaches you take when meeting new clients or new candidates. But it's curious, it's interesting that you did mention the importance of mental health, because that's something that's not talked about much in the agency world. And I guess how has that impacted you in your new job currently, I guess?
Well, I'm a very anxious human, if people in my network haven't noticed yet. So for me, this new job at BHAG that I have, and the opportunity to work from home and to have flexible working arrangements is a good thing. It's a good thing for my mental health, and to be honest, I'm in the office most of the time because I just love the vibe, I love the people that I'm working with. But the thought of me being at home and not feeling guilty, not feeling like I'm missing out on something, it's great. And I feel like an agency, flexible working hours are not an option in a lot of agencies. One of the reasons being that a lot of the managers don't believe that people can be as effective when they are at home, or when they're not tied to their desk, when they don't have their funky headset and just being on the phone 24/7.
I wonder, is it a agency perspective or a culture perspective? Is it the way, because I know in America, especially compared to Australia, we get 2 weeks off for the whole year. But I wonder, you reckon, is that just more so something that's been instilled in the sales world, where a recruiter pretty much won't be successful if they're not at their desk 10, 15 hours a day, compared to someone who has more flexible options and work from home?
I've seen a few very successful examples of recruiters who've been working from home, who've had flexible working arrangements, working part-time. I think it requires a lot of self-discipline. So probably if I was given an opportunity to work from home every single day of the week and I was not having any sort of mentoring at all, I do no work. I just sit at home, procrastinate, do my own thing, and then do a bit of recruitment on the side.
Yeah.
So it comes a lot to the person that's given this flexible working arrangements. And I think another thing is, it's this traditional viewpoint that younger recruiters, especially people who are just coming into the industry, need a lot of more control, and they need a lot more mentoring, which is true. But at the same time, the younger the recruiters are, and we are millennials, like the biggest thing for us is flexible working arrangements, is being able to be mobile, being able to work from any part of the country, any part of the world even. And I've recently read a pretty cool article by the guy from Octopus Deploy. Have you seen it? When he was, he moved somewhere deep into the woods in like a 5,000 people village, and he still works as a senior dev. 100% remote work.
Wow.
So I think this is something that all of the companies, not just recruiters, but all of the companies should aim towards, because it's been working for them. So if it's organized correctly, it's possible, and you can let people save 2-3 hours of the commute every day.